A desk setup can say a lot about a person, and mine screams, touch grass, love when possible. Hello, and welcome to my very first desk setup video. I don't know about you, but being a freelance video editor and content creator means that I'm at my desk the vast majority of the day. So with that being the case, I find it important to invest in a space you're going to be at most of the time. Keep in mind that everything you see here will be available in the description for you to check and get for yourself if it tickles your fancy, including the products provided by FlexiSpot, who upgraded my desk setup tenfold with some of their products that they generously gave to me. This video isn't sponsored, but I can't lie and say I wasn't feeling a bit of the holiday spirit when they decided to reach out to me and send me some free stuff. So here's my completely honest and somewhat janky desk setup, starting with the desk, of course. My desk is the, FlexiSpot corner desk, dual motor L-shaped standing desk. What a name. Now, I don't know if anyone has ever had an L-shaped desk before, but this is the bee's knees, let me tell you. As someone with undiagnosed object permanence, the extra real estate of an L-shaped desk helps my caveman brain visualize the things I have readily available to me at any given time. And that's not even the best part. Look. This never gets old, man. Having the opportunity to stand at my desk to keep my blood flowing, all while not skipping a beat, is something I never knew I needed. It can even save your desk orientation so you can switch between standing and sitting with just the press of a button. And now that I have a standing desk, I can officially call myself a tech YouTuber. This was my initiation, guys. Thank you. You're too kind. I personally never seen an L-shaped standing desk before. And being that my last desk was also L-shaped, I saw this upgrade as a no-brainer. However, the only problem was that they ran out of stock of this desk in black. And as you can see from a quick glimpse of the setup, white isn't really my thing. But I got it anyway, and decided to order a black wooden wrap from Amazon and apply it myself. And as you can see, I'm not that good with traditional arts and crafts, but that's okay. And as you will see with the things on my desk later, I embrace the jank. Now, there was a bit of a problem with this desk. It came with a bit of a gash from the desktop. Now, I didn't see it as a big deal to me personally, being that I was going to wrap it anyway. Still, I did contact FlexiSpot about what their response would be in case this problem arises with anyone who chooses to buy one of their standing desks, and they assured me that anyone who runs into this problem will get a replacement desk free of charge. So that's good. The setup was very clear and straightforward. However, I do recommend getting some sort of drill to expedite the process. Speaking of drill, here's mine. It is the Hoto cordless brushless drill. It's not just any drill, but a drill with its own LED screen. I could adjust the torque with the buttons on the side and a bunch of other things that a guy who knows nothing about power tools could do without confusion. Hoto is a company that makes very clean, minimalistic tools, and I'm a big fan of their stuff, including their screwdrivers and measuring tape. I don't really see the need to get these if you already own these tools, but if you do get these anyway, you will not be mad at your purchase. I've only known FlexiSpot to sell desks, but they sell way more than I thought, including this file cabinet that I put everything but files in, this desk drawer. Only some of the desks they sell come with a desk drawer, so it's cool that you could get one separately and install it yourself. This cable organizer, okay, I can explain. The cable organizer got here way after I already set everything up, so I'm gonna have to get back to that. Also, my surge protector power strip by Anchor makes all these plugs possible, by the way. And they even sell chairs, which has a feature I've never seen on a chair before. It has its own built-in hanger, which I actually use way more than I thought I would. I rarely hang my jacket up right away, so this is a great compromise. So before I show you everything that's on my desk, here's sort of my philosophy behind it. I'm a bit of a compartmentalizer. So some of the things I own are similar to others in terms of function, but each thing has its own specific purpose I use it for. For instance, I have a light that sits on my monitor to brighten my desk, and another light that sits on another monitor that's used specifically to brighten me up during calls. In reality, I can just use this light to do both things, but my brain prefers it if I separate the two. Does that make sense? Everything you see on my desk has some sort of purpose, and everything I don't see myself using constantly gets removed to keep my desk clean and my philosophy alive. I know some people find it weird that I do this, but I thought I should explain that before moving forward. Now, let's get started with what's on my desk. With my monitors, the 27-inch LG Ultrafine 4K and the 27-inch LG Ultra Gear respectively. The Ultrafine is tailored more towards productivity, and Ultra Gear is more tailored towards gaming with support up to 165 Hz. Also, I use them to switch between my Mac, PC, or consoles with just a couple of flicks of the monitor nipple. What? Oh, so I'm the only person that's ever made that comparison? When I was moving everything around when switching desks, I realized that I have this condition called idiot dum-dum, and I somehow managed to nick my ultrafine monitor in the process. Each of you hitting subscribe is equivalent to one F in the chat. So I ask, please pay your respects. Also, if any companies out there trying to get me one, hey, I'll appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. Keeping on the topics of monitors though, my Mac can only support up to 2 monitors officially. However, there's an officially supported loophole, and that's Sidecar. Sidecar is a macOS feature that allows you to turn your iPad into a monitor. My Wi-Fi is kind of mid, so I keep my iPad plugged into my Mac for consistent and uninterrupted connection. Keeping my iPad floating and adjustable with a tablet stand from Kuziu, and you're good to go. Though I do recommend getting the magnetic one instead of the clamp if your iPad supports it, so you can keep your Apple Pencil connected. Let's get to probably the most unique part of my desk, my monitor stand. This is the Vivo dual monitor arm extra tall mount, and it's responsible for keeping both my monitors afloat, but also has a few other unconventional purposes as well. So let's start at the top. This is the Avantry dual headphone stand. It usually would come with a base, but mine didn't. So instead of returning it and getting a new one, I decided to convert this L by taking the top cover off of the Vivo arm mount and basically sticking it right on top. Genius move if I do say so myself. It's stable and effective, holding my WH-1000 XM5 headphones that I use to grab and go and my HyperX gaming headphones for when I game. This powerful little piece of tech right here is my Bose SoundLink micro Bluetooth speaker for my room, where I play tunes while I work to help me focus. You see, my iPad isn't on my desk just as my third monitor, but it also doubles as my media player as well. I connect it to my speaker to play whatever I'm in the mood for. However, switching between windows just to switch songs can be a little monotonous, so that's where my Spotify card thing comes in. Yes, that's its real name. The Spotify card thing is a dashboard accessory to control your media on whatever its Bluetooth is connected to. The thing is, I live in New York City, so I don't need a car. I instead use it to play, pause, and skip media on whatever is playing from my iPad Air 4. You can adjust the volume using the knob and also assign different playlists to autoplay from the buttons on the top. Unfortunately though, Spotify has discontinued making it, but I know that there's some resellers out there selling it for way more than it's worth, in case you're interested. This thing here is my magnetic kitchen timer, which I use for literally one purpose, the Pomodoro method. I know that there are apps for that for sure, but there's something about doing the Pomodoro method with a physical object that just appeals to me. And it works like a charm too, just twist and go. This camera here is the Logitech Brio 4K webcam, which I use when I attend the occasional call or meeting, followed by the Logitech LitraGlow for an added light source to make me look all professional and whatnot. Speaking of illumination, my BenQ screen bar monitor light is what I mainly use to illuminate my desk, especially when I use my custom mechanical keyboard at night, which isn't backlit. Fun fact, this keyboard was a gift for my birthday last year, and the custom keycaps that were supposed to come with it still hasn't arrived. I have had 2 birthdays so far waiting for those. Anyway, the keyboard I'm using right now is the MX Keys Mini, which I mainly enjoy for its compact, minimal design, backlit keys, and the fact that I can connect it to my Mac, PC, and iPad all with the press of a button. I switch my keyboards all of the time, but there's nothing that's quite as convenient as this one. To the left of that is my Magic Trackpad, which I mainly use for switching desktops, doing custom commands with an app called Better Touch Tool, and smoother scrolling, especially when video editing. To my right is one of the greatest mice to have ever existed, the MX Master 3. Editing with this thing is an absolute delight, being that I can assign app-specific shortcuts to almost every button on this thing, boosting my performance by like tenfold, it feels like. Now, I'm aware that the MX Master 3S is the latest one out, but it's honestly not worth the upgrade just for quieter clicks. I've had this mouse for years, and it has never let me down, except for the occasional mouse lag, but I think that's an M1 Bluetooth issue. Now for my mic. This microphone is the Shure MB7, and it's hands down the best mic I have ever used. I struggled with audio quality for years before I got this thing, and I'm so glad I did. My only gripe with it is that it connects via micro USB rather than USB-C for some reason. But hey, a high-quality plug-and-play microphone with a touch-sensitive screen is more than worth the caveat. What's holding it is the low-profile microphone arm by Elgato. I prefer low-profile mic arms because they're a lot less intrusive on your space, in my opinion. Complete with channels for cable management, it does its job and stays out the way. Can't get mad at that. Speaking of Elgato, I also have their Stream Deck Plus and their HD60X external capture card. And if you're wondering, no, I don't stream, but I have been thinking about it, so let me know in the comments if you're interested. Anyway, I mainly use it to open and close apps I frequently use and adjust various things on my computer like volume, applying shortcuts, etc. I would recommend this for sure if I didn't think it was a bit overpriced. If you can get it on a sale or used, I will go for it. I also use a ZenSlabs Express Key remote for that. I just have a thing for macro pads, I don't know. I would also go for getting these Bose companion speakers if you're looking for good quality, fairly priced speakers for your computer. I have them currently Velcroed to my self-healing cutting desk mat to keep my cat from knocking them over. I also have a pair of HomePod minis I was gifted that I use for asking for the weather before I go out, making alarms, and finding my iPhone, which I always manage to lose even though I sit here and don't move. It's impressive. And still, no native Spotify support. It's a shame, really, but can you tell I'm a big fan of audio? And the very thing powering most of the things on my desk is my M1 Mac Mini. Saying that this is the best computer I've ever used is an understatement. The fact that it does everything I needed to do without making any noise blows my mind to this day. Though I want to eventually upgrade to a Mac Studio, this base level Mac Mini with 16 gigs of RAM has been holding me down since the day I got it. I can't praise it enough. The only gripe I have with it though, besides the occasional Bluetooth issues, is the lack of ports. Thankfully, the CalDigit TS3 Thunderbolt dock picks up the slack for a power user like me, granting me a total of 8 extra ports to use, powered by a Thunderbolt 3 cable, which is the fastest connection my Mac Mini can support. For the first time in my life, I've had more ports than I needed. I love this thing, but it's also something I feel is a bit overpriced. I suggest waiting for a sale if possible. Now, another downside to having a base level Mac Mini is the storage. But keep this in mind, you should always prioritize the RAM over storage when buying a new Mac. Especially because you can just get this, the Samsung T7 2TB SSD, and have more than enough storage for your needs. Not to mention, it supports up to USB 3.2 Gen 2 speeds, and in case you didn't understand that, basically, it can go really fast. I don't have to worry about storage for a long time with this thing, and I can always just bring it with me when I'm on the go, having my 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro pick up where I left off. Speaking of picking up, I eat and snack a lot at my desk, so there's no better device to pick up crumbs and keep my desk tidy than the Shark handheld vacuum. I just pick it up from its charging station, vacuum where applicable, and put it right back. Are y'all still with me? Cool. So let's get to the front corner of my desk. You see that large rectangle with the beautiful X-Ray D-brand skin? Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. I am Team Xbox. Everyone has their own opinions about the superior console between the Series X and the PlayStation 5, but all I gotta say is that only one of them has Quick Resume, which is a feature that allows your Xbox to automatically save your game whenever you exit. And whenever you return, it'll leave you exactly where you left off. So I've essentially been hopping between like 4 different games, basically all at once. Some might argue that that's chaotic, but I would argue that it's freeing. Now that feature spoiled me, man. I refuse to go back. The Series X also doesn't get enough credit for being quiet. It complements my Mac Mini so well on that front. Definitely deserves to be on the really powerful computer that doesn't make a noise train. What I have next to it is my Nintendo Switch with Gengar themed split pad controllers, because Joy-Cons give me minus 20 mental damage. Now my original Switch is in my OLED dock, where I play games I would prefer to play on a bigger screen. However, my OLED Switch I exclusively use in handheld mode because, duh. With my Nintendo Pro Controller and Xbox Core Controller sitting there on my stand, ready for me to use anytime. What else I have in this little desk thingy are my older Wacom Intuos pen tablets that I used to draw and animate for this very channel. I also have a 13-inch Wacom Cintiq Pro, but considering that my Mac Mini only supports up to 2 monitors, I prefer to just using the pen tablets if I want to continue to keep things more seamless and convenient. Now, I may not use my Cintiq Pro to connect to my main Mac, but keep in mind that everything on my desk does have a purpose, including my Cintiq. I may not use it often for videos, but I do still use it to draw. I now exclusively use it to draw using Clip Studio Paint for more fun personal projects that I like doing, which isn't work or YouTube related. It's kind of like my fun little Zen corner, and will continue to be until I one day upgrade to a Mac Studio that supports even more monitors. It's currently held up by the monitor arm I had back when I only had one monitor. The Cintiq Pro 13, unlike its more expensive big brothers, does not have official arm support. So I had to take a couple creative liberties, which included connecting the arm using adhesive, as well as the Wacom Express Keys remote. And guess what? It works like a charm. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box, you know? I think that's all of it. I hope you guys enjoyed my desk setup. Any thoughts you have, feel free to leave in the comments. Again, links to everything you see in the video will be in the description below. And last but not least, shout out to my patrons, Icefire03 and Vasco. If you want to be shouted out as well and have your very own rotten icon, as well as see the very first draft of this video where I'm kind of just talking off the cuff and it's like 30 minutes long. But if you want to see the full thing, it's available on my Patreon, link below. Feel free to join the Rotten Orchard. I like the sound of that, Rotten Orchard. Man, I didn't realize how much stuff I had on my desk until I made this video. But hey, it works out for me and it looks pretty cool, right? Well, I like it.